Hi guys, another video on factorising non-monics. This time I'm going to use the cross method, which is briefly touched upon in the textbook, but doesn't really tell you how to do it. This is the way I learned how to do it when I was at school, so I thought it might be worthwhile just showing you another technique. This one involves a bit more trial and error than the other way, so it's a lot more compact, but it does really have to kind of know your stuff a bit better. So you start by creating a cross with two arrows. Oops. So like this. Okay, so basically you got two arrows and on each. So here and here you place the factors of this, and this is why it can be a bit trial and error-ish. 3x squared is going to be, well, it's only two factors, so 3x and x it's going to be. Okay, so there's nothing else that could be, whereas if you have a look over here, 8x, it could be 8 and 1 or 4 and 2. Okay, so 3x times x is 3x squared. And on the other side, you put factors of 3. Now this one's going to be reasonably simple because, again, 3 doesn't have that many factors to contend with. When you start getting bigger numbers, lots of factors, you have to sort of think of different ways to the different ways it can be arranged. So I'm going to put it here. So 3 and 1. Okay, so they're my factors of 3. So what I'm looking for here is this top bit here. 3 times, think about 3 times, 3x. So it's 3x times 3. Well, that equals 9x. And on the bottom you've got x times 1, which equals 1x. Okay? So what you do is you times both these together. Alright, I'll put a little times in there. Okay? Now, when you times those out, if you add those, you need to get, so you add those together, and that's going to equal 10x. Okay, so what that tells you is you've got the right factors in the right orders. Okay, so what you do now is you follow the arrows, okay, and that's going to be your first factor. So this factorizes to 3x plus 1, okay, and the other one obviously is going to be x plus 3, okay, x plus 3. Okay, so this bit here, I'll just show you. This bit here is generally done in your head. Okay, so you'd say 3x times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so you get that. You're actually supposed to do that in your head. Okay, it's a lot more compact, but it does take a bit more trial and error. I'll do a harder one here. Okay, so this is we're going to use the cross method again. So you start with a cross, cross or a line, 1, 2. Okay, so factors of 8x squared. So well, there has to be an x on both of them, otherwise it's not going to be a quadratic. Okay, so this could be, but just as a general rule, we could have 8x. So we could have 8x and 1x. Okay, because they multiply together to get 8 squared. Just for the sake of the argument, I'm going to, I sort of seem to think that probably is not right. Just a gut feeling I have, it's probably going to be 4x and 2x. So that multiplies together to get that. Okay, and factors of 5 are going to be, it's going to have to be 5 and 1. Okay, so now you do your multiplying out. So we got that one and that one, that one and that one. You multiply them together, and I'm just going to put it here. That's 20x. That's 2x times 1 is 2x. Okay, so if you add those together, you're not going to get negative 14x. Okay, for starters, another thing you might want to consider, the answer is positive. Sorry, that the positive 5. So this is positive 5, and this is negative 14. So I think somewhere you're going to have a negative in here. In fact, they're probably going to have to be both negatives. Okay, so that's something to consider. So let's just erase those, and we'll try again. Okay, so this is what I mean about trial and error. Okay, so let's make that, let's actually go 1 and 5 here. And let's do negatives, see what happens. Okay, so when we multiply these out, negative 4 times 4x times negative 1 is negative 4x. And 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. Okay, so what you should be seeing now is, I've chosen well, because negative 4 plus negative 10 is negative 14. Okay, so I've got my middle term. Okay, so if this is equal to that, I've chosen well. Okay, so what we can say now is you follow your arrows, okay, and you get your factors. So it will be 4x minus 5 and 2x minus 1. Okay. The ones I've chosen actually, this one was a little bit harder because it involved negatives, but neither of them had very interesting factors for the last term here. So be careful of that. If it was 24 or something like that, 12, you have more factors to contend with. So that's the cross method. Every year I teach this and I forget how to do it. So every year I reteach myself. But it is a more compact way of doing it. And you have to be very good at factorising and doing stuff in your head. So that's the cross method.